Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina and today we are doing fire sign messages for Taurus season. It took me a minute to get to this. I'm so sorry, fire signs, but yeah, I'm excited. Keep in mind that these readings are general, so they may not apply to everyone, and that is okay. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest that doesn't. This may apply to people who may have fire signs in their sun, moon, rising, or Venus, so keep that in mind as well. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start with Aries. So let's see what's going on for Aries in Taurus season. What does Aries need to know this Taurus season? All right, so we have three cards that fell out. We have the Two of Swords reversed, so maybe someone is in denial about something, or they don't want to have their bubble bursted. We have the Ace of Cups reversed, emotional depletion. Oh, there's four cards. We have the Page of Swords reversed. We have the Nine of Cups, Justice reversed, and the Devil reversed. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands reversed. Okay, so bottom of the deck with the Ace of Wands reversed, this kind of reads as like needing to take on a new direction for something, because whatever approach that you may be taking right now, Aries, isn't necessarily working out. Like you just keep on hitting a brick wall for whatever reason. Like whatever situation this is, it seems like you keep on hitting a brick wall and you need to try something different in order to get different results. And you might not want to accept that, is kind of what it seems like with this Two of Swords reversed. Like it's almost as though you want to get the instant gratification of something with the Nine of Cups, wanting instant gratification, or you want to do something a certain way so that you can have the results that you want. But by doing it the way that you keep insisting on doing, that wasn't even proper English, whatever. By insisting to do it this one way, you're not getting the results that you want. So it's just like, it's this cycle of just like not getting anywhere. And it seems like you might be really exhausting yourself because of that with this Ace of Cups reversed. And with the Page of Swords reversed, this is having some sort of issue with like commitment, or saying that you're going to do something but then you never end up doing it. This kind of reads as maybe you have a lot of ideas, Aries, as to what you want to do. Maybe you have a lot of ideas about like different projects and endeavors that you want to take on, but you never follow through with them. You never follow through with any sort of like initiative. Or maybe you do, but you end up kind of just being a flake about it and just like drop it, or like lose motivation because you're not getting the instant results that you want. I also feel with the Page of Swords reversed and the Devil reversed, this kind of reads as like intellectual manipulation in some sort of way. Or maybe some of you may be saying like, I need to get out of this relationship, or I will get out of the situation. I will get myself out of the situation because I know it's not good for me. I know that it might be unhealthy or toxic in some way. But with the Page of Swords reversed, it's kind of saying like, I'm saying one thing, but I'm doing another. Like I'm saying I'm going to leave, but I never end up doing it, which is really interesting. And it's almost as though you have grown really comfortable with the circumstances, even though it's not the healthiest for you. And it's almost like you're trying to turn a blind eye to the situation, to the toxicity, or however way this situation might be unhealthy to you. You might be trying to turn a blind eye as to how emotionally draining it is. Maybe this person is just leeching off of your emotions and leeching off of you, or maybe you're leeching off of someone else. It's like you're trying to turn a blind eye because maybe they provide for you materially, or maybe it's just become incredibly comfortable and you have like all your cups lined up and like you don't want to have to like rearrange them or have to get up from your position, because I feel like some of you don't want to leave because by staying in it or by being with this person, they give you a sense of status, or They give you some sort of like recognition. Again, it's like they give you something physical or material or social that makes you feel that it's worth putting up with whatever BS this is. And with the Justice card reversed, this kind of reads as you, Aries, maybe kind of accepting the imbalance within the relationship because physically it feels really good and because you are able to get something out of it socially, materially, or physically, whatever the case might be. But also it feels like you might be giving a lot of your emotions towards this person. You might be giving a lot of your emotions towards this person, right? Like, investing yourself a lot into this person emotionally, or into this job, or into whatever situation this is, really just like pouring all of your energies into this thing, into this person, into this situation, and they're not reciprocating. They're not giving the same energy back. If anything, they're being incredibly selfish with their energy with the Nine of Cups, because it's like you have your one cup and you're being completely drained of it, right? And then this person is chilling with all their cups, just taking and taking and taking from you is what it seems like. And either this person is not taking accountability for that, not wanting to accept, or not believing, refusing to believe that they are being a leech in some way, or perhaps you excusing them of their actions, you kind of just allowing yourself to put up with it for whatever reason it might be, kind of making excuses for them in however way, you know, like whatever way this might apply to you. That's kind of what it looks like for you, Aries. And so it seems that this Taurus season, you may need to really reflect on whether this relationship or job or situation is worth investing so much of your time and energy and emotions into, because it doesn't really seem balanced at all. It seems as though someone is being incredibly selfish with regards to their energy, because it literally looks like they're hoarding all of this stuff. Meanwhile, you're over here like draining yourself of the only cup that you have. And it seems that you may need to implement better and healthier boundaries, rather than just like running to this person and like giving them all that you have so that they can give you a semblance of attention or some sort of semblance of affection, or whatever it is that you are craving so desperately for. Like, now is not the time to be turning a blind eye to whatever is going on. Face the reality of the situation. And maybe this person isn't even aware, right? Maybe this person is literally just not aware of how they're hoarding their energy or being incredibly selfish, or how they're not reciprocating to you. And if that's the case, then talking with them civilly and having a very calm discussion about it so that the situation can be resolved, that might be really helpful. That might really help resolve things and make you feel better and make the relationship a lot more balanced and make them a lot more aware and mindful as to how they treat you and as to how much energy they give you, and so on and so forth, right? Because sometimes the Two of Swords reverse can sometimes read as just literally just not being aware. For some, it might literally just be being in denial and not wanting to accept the truth. But for others, this can literally just be that someone simply might not be aware of how they're being selfish. And so by calling attention to the situation and discussing it calmly and civilly and expressing how you feel, that might be really helpful. And it might bring awareness to the situation and help to improve things, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind, all right? And if you do end up discussing things with them, Page of Swords reversed asks you to be mindful of the way in which you approach this. Don't just like come at them and attacking them and be like, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, chill out. Don't point the finger. Rather than coming at them from an accusatory tone, be like, hey, lately I've been feeling as though I haven't been receiving a lot of attention from you. Lately I have been feeling like I am investing more of my time into you as opposed to you into me. And I would really love to discuss that. You know, it doesn't have to be an attack. It doesn't have to be this full-blown argument or anything like that. Also, if you are in a situation or in a relationship specifically that is emotionally draining, don't lie to them and to yourself that you love them when you really don't. If it provides more so of a physical pleasure, and if it's literally just a superficial sort of thing, and if that's what you want, that's fine. But if that's not what you want, don't lie to yourself and don't lie to them that you're happy or that you're emotionally invested or whatever the case may be, okay? Allow yourself to be honest and have an honest discussion with this person about these circumstances, okay? All right. So that's all that I have for you, Aries. I hope that resonates. I hope you were able to get something out of this. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey Leo, let's go ahead and get started on your reading for Taurus season. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what's going on for you this Taurus season. What do you need to know? This Taurus season, this may apply to Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in Taurus season? What do they need to know for Taurus season? Bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands. Oh shit, the devil again. Okay, let's see. So we have the King of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Judgment reversed. Girl. The devil reversed. We have the Magician, Eight of Wands, and then bottom of the deck is the King of Wands. Jesus Christ, yo. Someone's not getting what they want. Someone's really not getting what they want, and they're like mad. They're pissed off. I know you said, I know you mad, I know you pissed off. Okay, anyways. All right. So King of Wands reversed at the bottom of the deck. You could be dealing with another fire sign. Whoever this is, King of Wands reversed reads as like two different types of people. Someone who is wearing a mask. Well, they could be interrelated as well. The King of Wands reversed can be someone who is wearing a mask, right? On the outside, they seem very fun, charming, like life of the party, center of like the room sort of thing, right? But on the inside, they are like not the best person to be around. They are like really arrogant, really hot-headed, and like really accusatory. The King of Wands reverse can also just be someone who is throwing a tantrum about something because they didn't get what they wanted. Whatever this is. Maybe they feel like they couldn't have you, right? Maybe they feel like they couldn't win you over, like they couldn't get your attention, like they couldn't do something with you, whatever that might be, right? And maybe you have a past with this person or whatever the case is. Okay, so we have the King of Swords. So maybe the King of Swords and the King of Wands reversed are the same person. Maybe they tried to win you over with intellectual conversation. Maybe they tried to, or maybe they had a plan. The King of Swords reversed, or the King of Swords is someone who has a plan, someone who has a strategy, but also the King of Swords is someone who has like an unrealistic sort of like moral high horse. Like they ride on this moral high horse a lot of the time. And so this person, like, even though they might be attracted to you somehow, or maybe they want something from you, they might also just like have this moral high horse, and like because of the fact that they don't get what they want from you, they try to like push that like really weird moral high horse onto you, if that makes any sort of sense at all. Also, I feel like with the King of Swords, it's like they had a plan with you, or like they had some sort of idea that they wanted that involved you, or like they wanted something from you. Like they had a plan as to how to like conquer you, or how to like make you theirs in some way, so that they could like have some sort of, not necessarily ownership, but although it very well could be because the devil was reversed. So because we do have the devil. So maybe they wanted to have some sort of ownership over you, or like control over you, or like try to manipulate you into the palm of their hand. And it seems like it didn't really work out. It didn't really work in their favor. Because the Queen of Pentacles upright is someone who is very sure of her worth. Someone who someone who's very sure of their worth, someone who is just very confident, very stable with themselves. They feel secure with themselves, and they literally do not need anyone to validate them. They don't need anyone to validate them, to make them feel better, to make them feel pretty, or to make them feel beautiful, or to make them feel powerful or empowered in whatever way. Like, this Queen of Pentacles does not need anybody. She just needs herself, and that's it, in order to empower herself. And so it seems like this person didn't get, this King of Swords, this King of Wands reverse didn't get what they wanted from you, and they might be pissed about it because they wanted to have control over you in some way. But it seems like, because the Magician is right under the Queen of Pentacles, it seems like you were too smart for them. It's almost like you either outsmarted them, or you were just too smart to really give into anything. Like, you could see through the BS, if that kind of makes sense. And then Judgment reversed. Again, maybe you have a past with this person, and with the Eight of Wands, this is kind of saying to leave the past in the past rather than trying to bring it up again. Again, if this person is from your past, and if, you know, you guys like reconciled somehow, because you wanted to, you know, be friends again, or you wanted to be in a relationship again, but if they start pulling the same things that they did in the past, it's more than likely not worth the pain. Like, it's not worth the hassle in trying to communicate with them, or in trying to like maintain that connection, because it seems as though they may have already kind of like decided what they want from you. And if you're not going to give it to them, then it's like, you know what I'm saying? So we have the King of Wands reverse. We have the High Priestess, which reads as like ulterior motives. King of Wands reverse and the High Priestess reads as like ulterior motives. And then Five of Swords reverse, this is something that's like mentally exhausting. It's also like a lose-lose situation. This is petty drama. This is like nitpicking. This is like literally starting drama over the smallest of things, because this person isn't getting what they want from you, or just because they feel that their ego is somehow like hurt over something. The Five of Swords always reads as like a victory for one's ego. Like, it's an empty victory that only fulfills the ego. And so with the Three of Wands reverse, this kind of reads as like needing to let go of contact, needing to just like drop things. So some of you may need to actually drop this person. Or put distance between you and them, just like letting the distance just kind of separate you two, if that kind of makes sense, or just like distance yourself from them, because it doesn't really seem all that worth it to continue trying to be around them, or try to like level with them in some sort of way, because it seems as though they may have already like set their mind as to what they want from you. Girl. So it seems that in Taurus season, the Judgment card reverse is kind of saying, just be mindful of repeating history, or allowing history to repeat itself, however way that might resonate with you, whether this is with a relationship with this person, if it means like them trying to come back to you and you feeling tempted to saying yes, or maybe this is in regards to a job that is just not good for you, that is just not fulfilling at all. The Devil reverse is kind of saying to liberate yourself from a situation, because it's not worth giving your power away to this person, to this thing, or to the situation. Like, it's just not worth it. And the Magician shows like you might already know the truth of this. Like, you are a lot smarter than you might try to play it off. And if you already know the truth, then like, you know, there's no need to like be in denial of it, or try to like run away from it, or act like it's not there in order to try to make things work, if that kind of makes sense. Like, you would be doing yourself a disservice if you kind of were to ignore the truth just for the sake of trying to keep this person in your life. So yeah, girl, that's weird. Also, with the Magician and the Queen of Pentacles, this person might be jealous of you because you're really successful in your life. And maybe they're trying to come back into your life because they want a piece of the pie. They want a piece of the success that you have. So if that's the case, be mindful of that, because it seems like you might be doing really well for yourself. Maybe you're manifesting a lot of wonderful opportunities, or maybe you're making a lot of money, or I don't know what it is. Like maybe you're just in a phase of your life where things are just going very well for you. Maybe things are very successful, very stable, and maybe this person just wanted a piece of the pie. So yeah, if you feel like there's someone in your life who just has an ulterior motive, or if they just are walking weird, if they're acting weird, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, because Judgment reversed reads sometimes as like self-doubt. So don't doubt your gut, don't doubt your intuition. Whatever your intuition or your gut is telling you about this person or this situation, this job, listen to that, okay? And proceed as needed, okay? So yeah, that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope it resonates, hope it helps. And with that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Let's go ahead and get right into the messages for you for Taurus season. Excuse me. Alrighty, Sag. What do you need to know for this season? I hope that you've been doing well. I hope everything is okay. I love you. Okay, what's going on for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus this Taurus season? Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus this Taurus season. Okay. Ooh, Hanged Man. Okay, so you might be dealing with a Pisces. Maybe some of you are looking at things from a different perspective, or need to look at things from a different perspective. Maybe some of you need to be a little bit more grateful regarding family or the community that is around you, or being more grateful for your friends or whatever this is. We have the Lovers. Maybe you're dealing with a Gemini. We have the Ten of Wands. Sun reversed, the World. And bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. And under that is the Four of Pentacles reversed. So this kind of reads to me as like, some of you Sagittarius need to detach yourself from like an idea, or like need to detach yourself from this idea that like you have to make money, or you have to reach a certain level of status or fame or recognition in order to be happy. Obviously, like, one requires money in order to survive. That's just the world that we live in. But placing so much attention on that to the point that it is the only thing that drives you, and if it's the only thing that motivates you, that's kind of where like things get tricky. And it feels like you might be finding yourself in a situation where you're literally drained more and more and more of your creativity and your inspiration because of this strong focus on money or fame or status or whatever the case is. And so it seems like you need to take a step back this Taurus season, Sagittarius, and really get in tune with the dreamer side of you. Allow yourself to be a dreamer, to be creative, to do things that genuinely make you happy, even if it doesn't guarantee the most money. Because when you do something that you love and that you are happy about, and when you do it because it genuinely fulfills you, the money and or the status or whatever it is that you initially are seeking or have been seeking, that will come to you one way or another, okay? But if you're just doing it like, I want clout, I want fame, I want this, I want that, like if it's done with the intention of trying to gain physically or materially or socially, it's unlikely that you will, one, feel fulfilled, at least on a more permanent level. Like, sure, it'll feel good, it'll feel nice at first, like have all this money, you'll be able to provide for yourself, awesome, yeah. But like that fades away over time, right? Like it's almost like you have to make more and more in order to receive the same high. And you don't want to get to that point essentially. So for some of you, that's kind of what you might need to do. this Taurus season is allow yourself to be creative, allow yourself to be innovative, especially with this Hanged Man right here. Allow yourself to be innovative. Do things that are kooky. Do things that are outside of your comfort zone. Do things that you normally wouldn't. Look at things from a different perspective. Take a different perspective on life and on your creative endeavors or whatever the case is, okay? Rather than looking at things so bleakly or very like focused on currency, I guess you could say. Maybe some of you need to spend more time with your family or developing the relationships in your life, especially, which, you know, like obviously with everything going on right now, like with quarantine and like whatever, that might be a little bit more tricky to do, right? But take the time to FaceTime your family, to FaceTime friends, your loved ones, whoever, to maintain whatever connection that you have with them, to show them that you love them. I feel like some of you, I don't know why, some of you may need to visit like your childhood home or like your hometown or something. Maybe that might help you kind of feel a little bit more rooted and like kind of like remind you why you're doing what you're doing or like why you want to do what you do, if that kind of makes sense. Because it seems like you feel like you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and you're looking at things incredibly like negatively and very bleakly. And so Spirit is literally saying like you need to change your mindset. You need to change the way you view things, the way that you approach things. You need to change, like you need some sort of switch up, some sort of innovative approach, something that you normally wouldn't do or that you haven't done in a while. It also just seems like you might be putting a lot of responsibility on your shoulders that you do not need to be carrying, or you're taking on a lot more responsibility than you need to be. Whether this is like taking on the obligations of others or taking on the burdens of others, taking on the baggage of others, whatever the case may be, you need to release whatever does not belong to you, whatever you do not absolutely require to deal with. Okay, if it's other people's shit that you're carrying, give it back to them and say to them like, this isn't mine, you deal with it. Okay, and it's not because you don't love them, but it's because since you love them and because you love yourself, they deserve and they require to deal with it on their own and figure things out on their own, rather than you trying to fix things for them or you taking on their burdens or you taking on their baggage. Okay, you need to create space for yourself as well. All right. Some of you, I think, really need to connect with your inner child. That's what this really feels like. If it's not like going to your childhood home or going to your hometown or like doing something that reminds you of your childhood, then like in general, just do something that connects you with your inner child, with the Summer verse and the Ten of Cups. I feel like there's just this emphasis on children here, or like connecting with like your siblings in some way. And then we have the World, which talks about the end of a cycle, letting something come to an end, putting something to rest, ending a chapter and moving towards a new one, making the choice to do so. Maybe you've spent a really long portion of your life, or a huge portion of your life, being really negative, being the negative Nancy, being a Debbie Downer, feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and feeling like, oh my God, like I have to do this. I feel like I have to carry all of these responsibilities, and almost like making yourself a martyr. If some of you are making yourself a martyr, then that needs to end. That needs to come to an end. That needs to come to a close. Okay. That needs to come to a close. And like, you don't have to be a grown-up, or like you don't have to take on the issues of other people, especially if they're not asking you. Then don't do it. Yeah, the World literally talks about the end of a cycle, the end of a chapter of your life, whatever this is. And if you feel like, if you have been taking on the role of like a martyr, or feeling like you have to carry the burdens of others on your shoulders because like you feel that you're the only one who can do it, or whatever the case is, like that's not your job. It's never been your job. So don't do it. Like, cut that out. if you've been having like relationship issues or like carrying some sort of baggage from past relationships, maybe this is time for you to like really put that to an end, put that to a close, and take the time to unpack whatever baggage has been building up. If you have been taking on, again, like this either martyr mentality or like this victim mentality regarding relationships or something, taking on a different perspective and perhaps taking accountability for the role in which you played in it, could really help with your own growth. And this isn't to say like you are complete, like that you were to blame for things or that it's all your fault. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if, you know, people, it's within relationships, it's not always a one-way road. A lot of the time it's a two-way road where each person played their role. Again, this isn't to say that you are completely to blame for anything. So please don't twist my words. But if there's anything that you require to take accountability for, then do so. So, yeah, girl, I don't know what to tell you. That's really what it seems like for you, Sagittarius. Whatever this is, this needs to come to an end, whether it's this martyrdom, whether this is just the extreme pessimism or the overworking of yourself, whether this is a lack of boundaries. We need to put that to an end. We need to start working on personal growth, becoming better, being mindful of these things, and not focusing so much on like things that shouldn't be in our immediate attention, if that kind of makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense. Again, maybe some of you need to reconnect with siblings or something, or just connect with your inner child, because maybe you've become too much of like an adult, right? Maybe your life has just become incredibly boring and just like very adult-like. So maybe taking the time to really connect with your inner child, connecting with siblings, like I said, or going to like your hometown or childhood home, or doing something that you used to do as a kid. Maybe that is something that might really help you. The Hanged Man reads as like self-sacrifice. Like you don't have to sacrifice for people all of the time in order to like keep them happy. Because what this reads as is like self-sacrificing in order to keep everyone else happy. And like you taking all of the burdens, right? And it's like, sure, yeah, they might be really happy, but are you? Because we literally have the Ten of Wands and the Sun reverse. Like you don't have to sacrifice yourself. You don't have to lose yourself in order to make everyone else happy. Like there has to be a sort of balance here. Like there has to be balance, right? The Lovers literally talks about balance within your relationships. There has to be balance in your relationships. You don't have to take on the issues of other people. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Sag. I hope it resonates. I hope it helps. With that being said, I'll talk to you later. Bye.